sir, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, and we back at it with another Forza Horizon 3 build video, man. The channel where we are taking your requests, nothing but your requests, 365 days a year, man. We're going for it. Let's just say we're going for it, man. But for today's video, we have a request from a couple people. As usual, I'm just going to run through the list here. Mason Moore, Dominic Hoskins, Night Fusion, Cody Torco, Fran Herco, Moneymaker 2234, Brandon the Gamer, Erwin Zamora, Brandon Williams, Droneside, Myra Williams, Daily Eater 56, All Right Gaming, Alec Lewis, and Jane Smith all want to see a drag GTR. Dominic Hoskins wants to see an R32 specific drag build. Now, I think this is a dope idea. One of the reasons that I decided to pick this build is I'm currently following a channel on YouTube, Tommy F. Yeah. A lot of you guys that watch Ricer Miata may have come across his videos in the past, and I gotta say, he's got an R32 GTR, and I've just been waiting for the opportunity to kind of, I don't want to say replicate, because obviously this isn't going to be a Tommy F. Yeah build. However, I kind of wanted to build a GTR inspired by him and what he has done with his so far. So I'm just going to skim through a couple of our options here. Actually, the R32 looks like it may be a barn find, so I may have to jump into the garage and jump into our stock R32 for the time being, which is exactly what we're going to do now. Now, a lot of you guys have asked for me to do a garage tour, and to be honest, I have so many cars in this game right now, it would literally take me an hour to go through every single one. And I mean, here, I guess you guys could get a little glimpse of what I got going on in here, but for now, we're just going to jump into the R32, which, in all disclosure, I have put back to stock. I did have a few things done to this car after looking at it, but I put it back to stock just for the sake of this video. So with that being said, I think the only thing left to do is jump into the upgrade section and see if we can make this thing an absolute drag monster. Now, right off of the bat, obviously, we're going to check out a couple of our conversion options. Engine swap, 6.2 liter V8, not really too into that. I don't know why, man. I think Forza Horizon 3 needs to get a little bit more in detail with these engine swaps. I think a 6.2 liter V8 really isn't going to do this car any justice. We are going to leave it all-wheel drive since, you know, drag racing, typically all-wheel drive vehicles tend to dominate in that aspect. Now, as far as the front bumper goes, I think I'm going to leave it stock, man. Not really feeling that big. I actually heard somebody say dinner dish or dinner plate splitter on the front there, which I thought was kind of funny. I've never heard that terminology used before. But for this one, I think we're going to leave the stock GTR wing on here. Very iconic. This car, obviously, JDM. Those of you guys who have seen Tommy F. Ya's videos know that he really hasn't done too much to the car. Lowered it just a little bit. Nice set of tires. Otherwise, actually, I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing a RB26 R30 in that car pretty soon. So it's actually going to be a beast. But for the time being, not to say this is an exact replica of Tommy F. Ya's car, but like I say, somewhat inspired. As far as the tires go, we're going to widen them up all the way around. Now, the wheels, I do like these stock wheels, but I think we can do a little bit better with something that has a little bit of a dish. So I'm just going to skim through a couple of options. Obviously, let you guys know when I find what I like. Now, there's a lot of wheels in this game that I like that really actually suit this car nicely. But I think what I'm going to do is go with this P45R. Looks to be a little bit different than the JSPL here. We are going to change the color of this wheel, even though I do like the black and gold. I think this whole paint scheme is probably going to change once we get into the paint booth. But for the time being, we'll leave them gold, upgrade both front and back wheels to an 18-inch. As far as the drivetrain goes, we're going to upgrade the clutch just for faster shifting. The transmission, also going to put a sport transmission in here just so I can adjust the final gear ratios. And the differential, we'll put in a race diff. That's going to, you know, help with our launch. We'll be able to adjust the power from the front to the back. Now, as far as the brakes go, those obviously are going to be needing to get upgraded once we're adding all this power. Kind of would like it to stop. I think that's kind of a, you know, one of the cool things about cars. If they go really, really fast, you know, typically they should probably stop really fast too, man. As far as weight reduction goes, I'm thinking a sport weight reduction. Keep a little bit of the weight in there just so that we're not spinning, even though this is an all-wheel drive. I found typically when you take out too much weight of the cars, they get a little too light and they kind of just slide across the top of the road as opposed to actually locking and gripping to it. Now, since this is going to be a drag build, obviously we're going to have to do a couple of drag-oriented upgrades. I'm thinking race twin turbos, intercooler upgrade, as well as an upgraded flywheel. You guys saw we just did the intake and exhaust right off of the bat. As well, I'm thinking I'm going to upgrade the cams and probably the displacement. Let's see here, and let's do pistons and compression, I should say, and that'll bring us up to 888 performance points, pretty well topped out in the S1 class, which is where I like to be, especially if we're going to be racing this thing online. Go ahead, buy this with credits, $49,000, not too bad considering we got the car for free. You know, we can kind of justify spending a little bit of money on it. And now that we got all of that out of the way, we're going to jump into the tuning section. Now, I just want to check out the gear ratios here. Looks like we have a 5-speed, topping out at about 329 kilometers an hour. I'm going to put it a little more towards the acceleration. See if we can kind of tighten that 0 to 100. Doesn't look like that adjusted. Top speed still kind of the same, so we're just going to leave that the way that it is. Now, this is going to be a drag build, so typically with drag builds, you want as square a setup as possible. Having a stance car with a lot of camber in the back for a drag build typically doesn't make a lot of sense. You want as much tire hitting the ground as possible. For the ride height, I'm just going to lower the front here. Obviously, as you can see in the background there, the front's a little bit higher than the back. I kind of like the rake look where it's pretty well even, if not the front's just a touch lower than the back. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And as far as the differential goes, I'm going to put about 80% to the rear. That means that the front wheel's only going to be pulling about 30% of the weight. However, I think that'll be a little bit of fun once we get into the turns. This thing, maybe we can drift it, maybe we can't. We're going to see once we get out there. Now, as far as the paint and body goes, as you can see, legendary blue with the gold color, man. Very nice on the Subarus. Obviously, a lot of the R34s rocking this scheme. I've seen a few R33s actually. Not quite as common on the R32s, but since we are going to be replicating Tommy F.Y.'s build in this one, just at least the color scheme, we're going to go with this very nice charcoal gray. I think on this car, it's quite subtle. Looks mint. The gold wheels, even though I do like them on this car, I think what I'm going to do, since we are going to, you know, be kind of replicating that build, is do them as gunmetal gray as well, and obviously tin up the windows. Now, the thing that I like about this car is it's very subtle. Just a few modifications to make it faster, look a little better, obviously, with the red calipers there, but otherwise looks relatively stock, which for a JDM car like this, I think these kind of mods are really the way to go. Keep the overall look of the car the way that it was from factory, but also making it perform a little bit better. So with that said, I think the only thing left to do is take this thing out on the road now, see if it actually does perform better. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the only mods that I had done to this car before I put it back to stock and started this build was it was rear wheel drive, and then obviously I had the intake and exhaust and then lowered. So this build right here is quite a bit different than that. Obviously we have the all-wheel drive, quite a bit more power than stock as well. Wow. Okay, this thing, wow, man. I think we nailed that differential absolutely perfectly, to be honest. This thing turns on a dime. Sounds amazing. Just listen to this thing. Woo. Hitting that red line with no problem thanks to that lightweight flywheel and clutch upgrade. Wow, man. Let's get a little interior view here. I think I may have to start looking for one of these cars in the future. Project car, obviously something in this condition, ready to go, well over $30,000. I can't say that I've ever spent close to $30,000 on any car. Did lease an Acura once, but that was only for a brief period of time. Let me tell you, for the money I paid for that car, I probably could have got a decent one of these. Oh, running it into the wall, as usual. Your boy Don Squally wouldn't be himself if he didn't just completely smash his brand new car right into a wall. But it's a video game, so thankfully we have the option to do that and continue our day as if nothing happened. Threading the needle there. This thing is super fast. I think what we need to do here though, where are we here in relation to, okay, so we're not too far from the airport. So what I think I'm gonna do is set a waypoint here, and we're gonna carry on, head to the airport. I don't really want to do a U-turn, so we're gonna take this thing off-road, and I think something I generally wouldn't do in a car like this, but like I say, it's a video game. We have the option to do things of that nature. Now, where did our waypoint go is the question here. It's like it just disappeared as soon as we hit that water. I don't know if that's a thing that happens, but it's a possibility. It is a possibility. 2.6 kilometers, bogging out a little bit from second to third there, so you definitely want to keep those shifts on the higher end of the RPM range. Now, it looks like we got a, forget what they call these guys here. Looks like we got somebody we can make a lot of money off of here. A rival, I believe, is what they call it. The Jaguar. I think we can take this thing. Let's go ahead and call on a race with this guy, since this is typically a drag build. Do a little online, or online. On the highway drag build here. Reeling them in, no problem. Gonna find that slipstream. And he's gone. Hit him with the gap cam now, making sure we don't crash, just like he did. It looks like this one's locked in the hole, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we get a little bit of cash from this guy. Interrupting our video to eat this food. Oh, and we we crashed into both of those cars. That's okay. What did we win off of this guy? 50 grand. That's pretty good. Add that to the 16.7 million that we already have here. Speaking of which, if you guys have yet to like or follow the Facebook page, we're at about 300 likes there now. I did say I was going to be giving away some Forza Horizon 3 credits when we reach 500 followers on that, so definitely head on over there, smash the like button on that page. Link will be down in the description, and we might even give away multiple prizes of Forza Horizon 3 money. Basically, if you own Forza Horizon 3, you just put your name in the draw. Once I pick a name, you know, we'll link up online Forza, and you basically sell me a car that you don't want for as much money as you know it's worth, and we'll do that a couple times until we reach the I guess you could say discussed amount. And yeah, man, because I have way too much money in this game, and I have a funny feeling that Forza Motorsport 7 is going to be out sometime within the next couple of months, and once that comes out, chances are this game's probably going to be getting sold on the used market. Or hey, maybe we'll do a giveaway on the channel as well. Let me know down in the comments section if you guys want to see this game given away on the channel. I'll mail it to you. I'll mail it to you for free. So let me know, hashtag giveaway down in the comment section. We're just about at the airport here. I'm gonna hit the off-road here just to make this a little bit quicker. We're gonna do a little bit of a race here just with ourselves, see what our top speed on this car will be in, let's say, an airport race here. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of a launch. Let's get an interior view here. 7 grand, little bit of wheel spin, hitting that red line rather quickly. To be honest, it's really quick out of the hole with that all-wheel drive. But top speed, can't lie, this thing could be a little bit faster. Love the way it looks, man. No question about that. 5th gear seems to be pretty long. 302 looks to be our what we hit there in the speed trap. That's kilometers. Not too sure what that translates to in miles, but that's relatively good. Like I say, this thing mostly 0 to 60 foot monster, obviously with that all-wheel drive. I think with a little bit more adjustments, maybe an upgraded transmission, if we threw in the 6-speed transmission, we might be able to get a little bit of a better top speed and get this thing pulling a little bit harder towards the top. Like I say, once it gets into 5th gear, it you know, it just kind of falls on its face. It takes a lot to really keep this thing moving. But nonetheless, I still like this car. I think it looks absolutely mint. It sounds fantastic. And if I ever had the opportunity to own one, yeah, I'd probably sell everything I own just to jump in the driver's seat of one, man. So with that being said, I'm thinking we're probably going to put an end to this video. I'm not sure on what we're going on the time. Damn, we're like 20 minutes unedited here, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, I am your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally. I just want to say thank you guys for watching, as always, and we're going to catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Don't die. Oh shit, where you going, bro? Don't be creeping on my friend. Don't be creeping on my friend. You and your homie. Oh, nut shot. Nut shot. Oh, buddy. Let's go. And your boy, man. Get him out of here. Oh, fucking. Oh, my God.